It began, not with a bang, but with a digital flash across 1 million screens, capturing the attention of the world in an instant. On October 3, 2025, a headline erupted from Manila, Philippines confirms supergiant oil field in West Philippine Sea. The world paused, as if holding its collective breath. In New York, traders fell silent, their usual hustle replaced by a stunned quiet. In London, analysts scrambled, their minds racing to comprehend the implications. In Beijing and Washington, urgency filled the air, as leaders and policymakers convened emergency meetings to discuss the potential geopolitical shifts. This was not just another oil discovery, it was a supergiant, containing billions of barrels of recoverable oil, enough to alter the balance of power in the global energy market. The Philippine Department of Energy confirmed the staggering find, calling it one of the largest of the century, a discovery that could redefine the nation's economic future. The Philippines, long seen as resource modest, had just been handed a winning lottery ticket, altering its destiny and the global energy landscape in a single moment. The nation stood at the threshold of unprecedented change. Global oil prices dipped sharply, reflecting the market's immediate reaction to the news. A Filipino exploration firm's stocks soared as investors rushed to capitalize on the newfound potential. News anchors worldwide rushed to cover a nation they'd barely mentioned before, now thrust into the spotlight. Suddenly, a new protagonist had stormed onto the global energy stage, challenging established players and reshaping alliances. The world watched, holding its breath, as a nation of over 100 million people stood on the precipice of a new, electrifying future, filled with both promise and uncertainty. The story was no longer just about oil. It was about the hopes and fears of a nation reborn, a narrative of transformation and opportunity that resonated far beyond its shores. Across the Philippines, the news spread like a tidal wave of euphoria, reaching every corner of the archipelago. From the bustling heart of Manila to the quietest barangays, excitement was in the air, and people everywhere felt the energy of something truly historic unfolding. In Manila, jeepney drivers honked in celebration, their colorful vehicles weaving through traffic as passengers cheered and waved flags. The city's usual chaos was transformed into a moving festival, with strangers exchanging smiles and laughter. In cafes from Cebu to Davao, people huddled around screens, faces lit with shock and joy. Friends and families gathered, sharing the moment, their voices rising in disbelief and happiness as they watched history being made together. For a nation used to economic struggle, this was pure hope. The weight of daily hardships seemed lighter, replaced by a sense of possibility and relief that swept through even the most modest homes. Overseas, Filipino workers flooded social media with pride, dreaming of coming home for good. Messages of congratulations and longing filled timelines, as families separated by oceans imagined a future together once more. The discovery wasn't just economic, it was a promise of opportunity, of families reunited, of building a future at home. It meant new jobs, new beginnings, and the hope that children could grow up with their parents by their side. The Filipino spirit, defined by resilience, now found itself rewarded. Years of sacrifice and perseverance seemed to finally pay off, and pride radiated from every smile. Suddenly, Filipino pride meant more than sports or pageants. It meant becoming a major player on the world stage. The world was watching, and the Philippines stood tall, ready to claim its place in history. As the sun set, families gathered, dreaming of new careers and a brighter future. Conversations turned to possibilities, and children listened wide-eyed to stories of what could be. A powerful sense of unity swept the nation, a collective blessing meant for all. People from all walks of life felt connected, sharing in the hope and excitement of a new era. For the first time in a long time, the future of the Philippines seemed dazzlingly bright. The promise of tomorrow shone in every hopeful face as a nation looked forward together. To grasp the discovery's magnitude, you must understand the Philippines' long struggle with energy. For decades, the nation depended on imported fuel, vulnerable to global price swings and foreign decisions. Every oil price spike meant higher food costs, pricier transport, and tighter family budgets. The government fought back with subsidies and renewables, but the addiction to foreign oil persisted. Power outages were common, stalling development and frustrating citizens. The dream of energy independence felt impossible until now. The Malaya field represents a complete reversal, from vulnerability to strength, from buyer to potential seller. The psychological impact is immense, a nation finally taking control of its destiny. The long shadow of energy insecurity was finally beginning to recede. The Philippines could now power its own growth, free from the whims of the global market. The Malaya oil field, named for free, is a triumph of science and technology. Years of work by the Philippine National Oil Company and global experts targeted the West Philippine Sea's complex geology. Breakthroughs came with advanced seismic imaging and autonomous underwater vehicles, mapping the seafloor in 3D. The data revealed a massive ancient reservoir, perfect for oil and gas. The Malaya field lies in a pre-salt layer, similar to Brazil's giant fields, rewriting Southeast Asia's geological map. The oil is high quality, light, and sweet, ideal for global markets. The BRP Pagasa drilled deep, confirming the models: prolific flow, high pressure, world-class resource. Years of research and investment had paid off spectacularly. The Philippines was sitting on an energy treasure. The Malaya discovery is set to rewrite the Philippines' economic story. Projected revenues reach into the hundreds of billions, even trillions, over the field's life. For the first time, the government can fund ambitious projects without crippling debt. Infrastructure will boom: airports, railways, resilient bridges. Job creation will surge not just in oil, but in logistics, shipping, and support industries. A virtuous cycle of employment and growth will lift small businesses and families alike. The government can invest in education, healthcare, and social safety nets, making inclusive growth possible. The discovery will attract foreign investment and bring home talented Filipinos. The Philippines is poised to become an energy powerhouse and a new hub of opportunity in Asia. The nation's economic future has never looked brighter. The Malaya field sends tremors through the global energy map. The Philippines' rise as a major oil player reshapes alliances and power dynamics in Asia. Energy-hungry neighbors like Japan, South Korea, and China now see a stable supplier next door. The US-Philippines partnership will deepen, with security of the field a top priority. Other powers will seek closer ties, eager for energy contracts and economic participation. But the field's location in contested waters will test Manila's resolve and China's strategy. The world will watch as the Philippines defends its rights and navigates complex diplomacy. This new status could stabilize the region, giving ASEAN a stronger voice. The Philippines must use its leverage wisely to foster cooperation, not conflict. The promise of Malaya is immense, but the risks are real. Geopolitical tensions in the West Philippine Sea could escalate if not managed carefully. Defending sovereignty will require diplomatic skill and military modernization. Environmental risks loom. Offshore drilling at these depths could devastate marine life if mishandled. The government must enforce strict regulations and rapid response plans to protect the sea. Internally, the threat of corruption and the resource curse is high. Transparency and accountability are essential, perhaps through a sovereign wealth fund. Wealth must be shared equitably, reaching even the poorest communities. The true test is not just technical, but moral. Can the Philippines turn oil into lasting prosperity? Success will depend on wise, inclusive, and ethical leadership. Discovering oil in an age of climate change is a paradox, but also an opportunity. It presents a unique chance to rethink our energy strategies and align them with sustainable goals. The Malaya field can fund a rapid transition to renewable energy, not delay it. By channeling resources wisely, we can accelerate the shift towards cleaner energy sources. The Malaya mandate is clear use oil wealth to build a green economy. This mandate is a commitment to future generations, ensuring a sustainable legacy. Invest in solar, wind, geothermal, and ocean energy, areas where the Philippines has natural advantages. These investments will harness the country's abundant natural resources, build a smart, resilient grid, and fund research to become a leader in renewables. This infrastructure will support a modern, efficient energy system. The goal: achieve net zero carbon faster than any other nation. This ambitious target sets a benchmark for global environmental leadership. Oil will still be needed during the transition, but the proceeds can build a sustainable future. This dual approach ensures energy security while fostering innovation. This approach turns the resource curse into a green engine for transformation. It redefines how natural resources can be a force for good. Malaya funds can also support reforestation, marine protection, and sustainable agriculture. These initiatives will preserve biodiversity and enhance food security. The discovery is about more than oil. It's about investing in the nation's and planet's long-term health. It's a holistic approach to development. The Philippines has a once-in-a-generation chance to build a future that's both prosperous and sustainable. This vision is a blueprint for a thriving, eco-friendly society. The true significance of Malaya transcends geology and economics. It reshapes Filipino identity and aspirations, shattering the old narrative of struggle. The Philippines is now a nation of builders and innovators, ready for the world stage. This confidence will inspire a new generation to dream bigger and lead in science and technology. The world will see the Philippines not just as a labor source, but as a hub of innovation and leadership. The diaspora can become a network of global ambassadors, drawing talent and investment home. The Malaya Field is a reservoir of hope, of eradicating poverty, uniting the nation, and building dignity for all. The discovery provides both the means and the motivation for national unity and progress. The path chosen now will define the nation's destiny for centuries. This is the dawn of a new era, one of courage, hope, and a bold new chapter for the Philippines.